Nice. Sorry, I pumped it.
And I'm Scandal.
And let's play a game together. I know what, sometimes we don't do a title card in that way. We always just say it because, it's nice to see you guys.
It is.
And we are happy to do this to engage.
And we run straight into a bare chest. For a moment, I'm confused. Mine trying to catch up. How did I not notice you?
How did I not see him? We turn about and plap our luminous garments
also,
into
it knocks his little, basically,
hood
experience off, and he's just like, whoop!
We turn around hair flip style, and it pops off his head and
puppy.
slaps into his chest. We go, oh, puppy.
I see. It's you. It's good to know. It's funny, but doesn't this seem familiar somehow? Like, I know this feeling.
Puppy sounds very familiar. Can you move?
Oh, sorry for the car in the background, guys.
Yeah, it's okay. Can you move?
A massive stranger fills the alley, blushing a bright red that reaches the tips of his ears.
Can I see the tips of his ears?
Are you Puppy?
You seem familiar.
Overwhelmingly
like
puppy.
Very puppy.
That's okay. I blink, then quickly stumble back, an apology on my lips.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you going this way?
Sorry, I didn't see you there.
Somehow.
Wild.
That would be it. It's the charm, and basically you turned with no knowledge of him being there, and then popped into him, and then your brain went, I see something, and you went, that doesn't feel like me at all, but puppy?
But puppy.
Good.
And he turns to leave. Before I know what I'm doing, I'm reaching out to grasp at his cloak. Wait!
You seem lost.
Reluctantly, he pauses, turning slowly back towards me. His eyes don't meet mine.
What?
The earthy scent of myrrh clings to the stranger, noticeable even in this dark, damp street. This is so different.
I say,
damn.
It reminds me of that charm that I lost earlier with the smell of myrrh.
Fascinating. Something about him is so just familiar.
Yes.
But we've never met before. I feel like I would remember that cloak and retro sort of look.
Also that whole
chain.
Club kind of scene look.
Yeah, is that what that is?
Or maybe
Are you a hardcore BDSM fan? I'm not sure.
You could be, or you could just be. Is your other person around here somewhere? Are you looking for someone to take the chain?
Is that what this is? Did I run into pet play? I'm not sure. But we've never met before. Do I know you? I
tried to investigate these, so I'm trying to get my questions answered. So, even though I would normally not be so direct, do I know you?
It's also interesting because we don't get his name.
We do not.
We do not.
This is kind of fabulous. They are setting up for something very different, and I am intrigued.
It feels more balanced, which is weird to say because there's still lots of things about this that I'm kind of frustrated about. But I think also that just might be what I'm used to is that being that frustrated. I don't trust it entirely. With a heavy, heartfelt sigh, he turns back to face me fully.
And I get an eyeful. Oh.
Of TD. He's still tall.
Us?
I stare helplessly. Is this someone I used to know? Someone from my long-forgotten past?
Someone who is Puppy?
But, faced with my silence, the stranger sits on a stack of oak barrels, which creak ominously.
He's a large boy.
Big. For the first time, those dark green eyes meet mine.
Okay. Why are you going back there?
His hand tightens on the sack he's clutching, and his eyes dart up and down the street.
You had clearly know something about us that we...
Going back where?
I'm
intrigued. Someone who comes to me with that fashion has really got to be trying to say something.
Damn, also your belts are all mismatched and stuff. You got 4 different kinds of leather on. One at your waist, 3 different kinds across the chest, 1 on your shoulder. Also your collar's made out of a different one altogether. Maybe the same as your lowest belt, but it's a wild selection of things. Also, I still want to know if this one's meant to be on his hand.
Oh, he does. He actually has several belts down his arm. See,
oh my god, that's freaking hilarious.
The belt's down his arm and he's got little spikes on his hands.
Spike cuffs, yeah.
I had to draw this. I know.
Very seen, honestly.
It's true.
The palace.
I frown a little. It's hard to discern his meaning when he refuses to say more than a handful of words.
No.
And honestly, you don't have much presence beyond, don't look at me, I am Puppy.
Yes, large Puppy.
Why wouldn't I want to go back there? It's my job. I love this. We're actually engaging with going this is my position.
And also him going, if I'm supposed to be, if I'm trying to engage with you and help you, I'm actually working to try and do it.
Yes.
I'm also you can barely see his ears if he's blushing to his ears.
I'm also the thing that makes me kind of laugh is he's staring at me full in the face as he looks off to the side.
Yeah, I would like a little graphic where he looks straight at you when he does that. That would be cool. A sprite. Stare at us and we'll all go, oh, that's very forward.
You're very intense.
It's dangerous there. Bad omens.
A shiver runs through his massive hands, and he nearly drops the sack. God, he's like baby. I'm genuinely again, okay. I don't want to tell people to not romance him, but I personally am like, you are so broken and so terrified.
Super anxious, super uncomfortable, deeply, unhappy.
Distressed and unhappy.
Yeah, distressed and unhappy.
I'd be like, I'm just going to find somebody who will just actually just caretake. More no partner, just caretake.
Yeah, no partner, just care.
Dang,
just friend.
Whoa, just friend. You need just friend. He draws a deep, shaky breath, clearly struggling with each word.
Talking does not seem to come easy to this man. He does look kind of at us.
Yeah.
He still looks like he's a little off to the side more than other people, though.
Right?
It's kind of impressive. Monster.
A chilling memory resurfaces in my mind. Goatish face, eyes like cinders, and onyx claws.
Black hooves. Hoofs. Really good eyeliner.
Fantastic eyeliner. The rest of it was boring.
A weird painting.
Then the rumors Portia mentioned are true, and my dream was more than just a dream. My dream is a wish your heart makes.
I wish
when you're fast asleep.
All right.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, just that this suddenly confirming that our dream was more than a dream, I don't feel that connection very well.
Yeah.
I haven't really questioned really hard, was it real or not? And I didn't feel really deeply connected
That's also
to that.
you could interpret monster as meaning any number of things. There's a monster of a rumor that's basically around the castle. There's the monster, the monster.
There's some rude-ass people, actually, hilarious. Oh, I mean, in the castle.
Right? There really are.
And maybe that's a monster. There's also those damn eels in the water.
I appreciate that our character is that omnipotent, but honestly, I feel like we'd better be going, I'm gonna confirm with you going, are we talking about the goat?
Yeah, I would say that would be good. And also going, then it seems my dream, or my dream could be more than a dream. I feel like it being less final would be good, or if it's going to be that final, having some more connection to why it's suddenly so final in our head.
Yes.
Would be nice for me.
Yes.
On the other hand, again, I'm a little more fascinated with this. I don't know if I'm so fascinated simply because it's different, or if it's this piece is better, but I still have a very hard time with Muriel and the way they approach him and going, he seems like it hurts him to do these actions and to interact with people. And in the last one, we could be your friend, and him going, I don't want friends, I don't need friends, get away from me, and going, okay, I appreciate that he may be lonely. We don't even know if he is, but he may be. Some people live the hermit life and are very happy with it, honestly, and they go, people are just not my bag.
Yeah.
I'm literally antisocial.
Yes.
I say, but it feels like very much that he is causing himself distress or harm to just speak to us, and that's uncomfortable for me.
Yes.
More than just a dream.
More than just a dream. I think I've already seen it.
There we go. We are going to talk about it.
Hi.
Who? What? You saw...
The huge figure shakes his head emphatically. Chains rattle beneath the layers of heavy furs.
How hard is he shaking his head to make everything on his body jingle? Is he shaking his arms and his shoulders too? Does that collar move when he turns his head and it makes the chain jingle that's on his throat?
That hasn't been rubbing into the underside of his jaw. One of the things why I point out going where it is, it could cause some serious pressure or pain.
Again, it could cause some really bad blisters or rubbing or essentially what would be bed sores, friction sores.
Honestly, that is an actual problem.
That does not look like a permanent color. That looks like one of those temporary colors because it would tear you the hell up.
Yes.
Especially again, how high it is shoved up under his jaw. Right there. Right. And you didn't run away?
Despite his harsh words, he keeps sneaking worried glances at me from under his mop of hair. Honestly, he doesn't sound harsh. He, again, just sounds like puppy. I'm just I appreciate they keep trying, but all of his physical actions really kind of mess with it for me.
Also, even his sprite doesn't look harsh to me.
No!
He looks like he's still
I'm not kidding, he looks like Bucky Barnes. He looks like freaking Sebastian Stan. Sort of roided up, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Which is not to say that Sebastian Stan can't look intense, but every time I've ever looked at him, and we've talked about this before in our first playthrough, actually, of the prologue itself, where I was just when I first saw, actually, Sebastian Stan, where he was playing the Winter Soldier, I laughed my ass off because it was so shocking to go from him having his mask on to taking it off, and I could no longer take him seriously as a threat.
Giant, soft, beautiful puppy eyes.
Look at you, boo! And you're just you're so cute looking! And it's just all I could think about. And I was just like, he doesn't seem intimidating anymore. He just sort of seems like, you are baby. With the mask on, he was fine. But with this, it's like, hey.
Anyway, so again, his sprite doesn't seem to line up with what they're describing in the dialogue.
Yes, I'm like, make him look scarier then?
Yeah, like give him intense expressions. Make him look dark. Make him scary like the dogs. That was intense.
Right? That was a little wild, actually. As the silence becomes unbearable, he mutters something under his breath.
Yes.
You are Muppet now. I don't know what Muppet is, but it's okay. Baby, speak to me. Come on, baby. What was that? It's okay, Paddy. You can speak. The stranger lifts his head, pointing down the alley pointing down the alley toward my neighborhood with his hand. His whole hand.
He's pointing with his hand.
He points.
Because the thing is you can indicate with your whole hand.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a little bit like, it's a different gesture than using a finger.
It is. I lift my whole hand and point.
On the other hand, sometimes people say you lift their hand and point. And then when you go to the next piece of pointing, that's what you've done with your hand.
There's also some people who really do just go, raises a finger. Which you're like, how do you detach your finger?
Raise the whole finger. So this works. This isn't as explicit as it could be, but it works fine. He raises his hand to point down the alley, but it's
down toward my neighborhood. Never mind.
Not you.
Yes.
Not you.
It's mind me, boy.
Never mind. Just go home. Is he trying to be commanding of us?
He might be.
You will go back to the shop and be outbled.
I will take care of you.
I will help you by telling you not to go. I will look intimidating. Poof. Am I intimidating yet? If I rough up the cloak a little bit more, is it like big poofy feathers? Does it scare you? Is it like a cat foofing up their fur? Are you scared? Him actually clean.
I think you're actually more frightened of me than
him. Actually clean, well cared for. The leather clean, pressed, clean, like actually clean and cared for the way you clean leather.
Right.
Doesn't have grease all over it. Looks fine, smells fine. Him.
Yep.
I am scary. You know actually it's a particular kind of aesthetic, but you're not too bad.
Nice, not bad.
It's very specific.
Honestly, if I was going to hit on anyone, I'd probably hit on you and the lady.
And maybe the lady first, but you
Lady
have
first.
potential.
You have potential. I like it. It's
Right.
good.
Just go home.
How did you know about the ghost? Why are you telling me this?
Honestly, if the ghost is part of the mystery and the painting kind of thing of going, we know the goat in the painting represents Lucio. We know there's a painting of Lucio. We know we've been exposed to all this crap. I would ask about the ghost because, again, we're trying to separate from him. Anything that's mostly about this guy, so it would
his
be
name is Muriel.
interesting to know stuff about this guy, but it wouldn't be necessary to our task. And if we're focusing on our task,
yes,
we would ask about the ghost.
How did you know about the ghost?
Yes.
How did you know about the ghost?
I wish I didn't.
I am 12 steps ahead of you and somewhere else. Corazón, can you please come back and give me from step A, then B,
He's
then
gonna
C?
be like the young child. There's a monster. I was going, what kind of a monster? It was terrible. What was terrible? That ghost. Which ghost? Back in the castle. Okay, we're at the castle.
Yay! We're slowly getting there. We're stepping around in circles.
Around 14 times to find out how you skinned your knee, but we'll get there.
We'll get there eventually. And then I broke my arm. What?
And that's how I broke my arm.
Oh, fantastic. That's not an answer. You sound like Astra.
Very like you are like every edgy boy in my life. Just answer.
Just so you know. They're all kind of edgy in his butt. The stranger heaves another deep, heartfelt. Again, with his sighing, he is so baby. I can't tell you where just
I'm overwhelmed. This is hard.
It's heartfelt. So he's agonized and defeated and I'm like,
I need more words. Him also, why would I need more words? That should have been enough words. Shit, I've chosen the wrong words. And now I have to use more words to fix the wrong words.
I kind of want to ruin you and be like, look, it's like Shag.
Shag
doesn't fucking want to talk.
So one of my OCs in just personal role playing is a very physical character. His culture does a lot of body language and also biochemical communication.
Right.
And so they don't do a lot of verbal communication at all. And the verbal communication they do is not very linguistic a lot of the time. It's just emotional communication,
Right.
And so while they have language and they totally can speak to each other, you don't use it very often unless you're basically teaching like literal concepts instead of emotional or conceptual concepts.
Right.
That kind of thing. And so that character was very resistant to learning more explicit talking to people who go, we don't do the body language, we just do language.
In other words, basically my characters.
And in this case, I've met someone who's almost like Spock in the sense of no emotion, just talk. And him going, ah! And just
and
Muriel feels like, why words, Shag? Why words?
Pretty much.
All right, heartfelt sigh. Words! Asra.
Wait, you know Asra?
That doesn't answer the question
At all.
Hang on.
Nobody's fucking
Asra is how he knows. How did you know about the ghost? Asra. Okay.
All right,
Okay,
cool.
so you knew about the ghost because of Asra. I hope.
How did Asra then know about the ghost? I need to know what the fuck is it. Right, he nods once, slowly, his shoulders relaxing ever so slightly.
Is it good? I used the right words.
You
know Asra better than anyone. You know him better than me. You know him better than he knows himself. You know him better than his ex, who's that disaster who just ran out of the bar.
That's pretty impressive.
Honestly, how come I've never seen you? You go on those adventures with him, don't you?
That's what that is.
He goes out to the dirt, and even
Also,
with you, he can't learn to stay clean.
You know what though vaguely frustrates me? And I'm going to say this now because I get it's fun. But in the concept of the character, the character would not fucking end up remembering this conversation, so guess what? This is completely pointless. This is in the way of dreams are completely fucking pointless.
This is hilarious.
Where you're just like, hi, we're going to establish all this stuff. And then technically speaking, your character completely fucking is going to forget as soon as he walks away.
I say for him, you forget everything, but also with the dreams going, you don't know if they have real life context at all. They're dreams. And if we don't know more of the culture of dreams or how dreams are handled, then that. Yeah. I also love these red lights up here that just suggest this gargoyle staring us down from up on that thing. I am watching you.
Right?
In the dark of the night, staring you down.
As much as I like this, and this is interesting, like I love the added dialogue, this dialogue is basically goddamn useless in terms of your character's story.
Because your
character will
everything.
forget all of this, which is one of the things where I think like Muriel's finally like, I will just sit down and talk to you because it's not going to goddamn mean anything anyway, but it also might be why he's so resistant sometimes talking, because he's going, you're all just going to forget anyway, which is what I wanted, but now I realize that it's made talking to people so awkward because they have to go through the same conversation 12 times.
Now here's a challenge too, going, if he sent you back to the shop and you started walking that way and then forgot him, wouldn't you forget why you were going there? Right. Again, him engaging with his own power. Does he know well how it works? Does he usually use it with and around and on people? It'd be really nice to know what he expects, how he expects that this is helping him.
And maybe also at the same time too, like it depends. What are the limitations of his power?
Can he do it on purpose or not?
Can I motivate you? Can I not motivate you? What happens when I tell you something directly and you go, I'm going to do it? Does it become a part of your consciousness even after I slide away?
Can it be something that's implicit to you, or, where you don't know why you're doing it, but you feel compelled to do so?
Right?
Exactly.
All right. Like this would be very interesting to figure out.
Better than anyone.
The rumbling voice sounds irritated, but the answer is sincere, at least. I appreciate it. I can understand. People are frustrated. I wonder why Asra never mentioned him before, but I suppose he doesn't come across as much of a social butterfly.
It's true.
Which he?
We're assuming Muriel is the he in this case, because Asra seems more like a social butterfly.
Right.
He seems more friendly and social than Muriel.
Maybe. I'll give you compared, yes. I smile at him. He just stares at the pavement beneath my feet, resolutely avoiding my eyes like shit, dude. Like
I do feel like they really are going he that wasn't there before.
It really wasn't. They said the stranger, the man, or the figure, the whatever.
It was
a lot of
the individual, the figure. They do
the
this.
Shadowy
they
figure.
do that.
Yeah.
The tall figure.
Yeah, like this character was very, as far as I recall. Now, please feel free to correct me, but I'm kind of actually annoyed, going like they really did just like apparently just have they them pronouns.
We even mentioned when we did the scene in the market, going, we would have they theirs towels if we ever got together.
Right.
The whole marriage towels, his and hers would be
and it was there.
Theirs and theirs towels.
But also I'm just saying, like, I am willing to be wrong, but as far as I can tell, really, and because we were really just looking at it recently, it seems like he was originally maybe non-binary.
Or addressed more non-binary, and now definitely
Which seems to be strange, because also then again, the MC, or basically the way that they like writing these things is basically very strongly assuming pronouns the entire time. What's your name?
Muriel.
Hello, Muriel. I'm Corazón. Muriel shuffles his huge feet, looking like he'd love to just vanish on the spot.
He's sitting, holding his hands in his lap, nervously shuffling his feet. Poor thing, he sounds like a mess.
He really does.
Okay, go home now.
I shake my head. He keeps telling me to go home, but I have a job to do.
He doesn't have authority over the Countess.
He really doesn't. I can't just go home. The Countess asked me to help her.
And the ask is actually not just a question. She has engaged my service.
It's true. The ghost, the Count's murder, the upcoming masquerade, they're all connected somehow, and like it or not, I've been pulled into the shadowy web.
Are we wrapping up here?
We might be.
Oh.
He's so distressed. Like
He is. He's like just so sad. Like, I can't just make you go home.
He sighs and mumbles something under his breath, pointing in the direction of the palace.
Fine, go that way.
Hang on. Well, we're gonna actually find out what is going on next. Because I appreciate this, and I feel like it is starting to wrap up, which is kind of nice. But we will actually find out. So
in the next episode.
Yes, and so if the next one's a little short, I apologize. But we're trying our best. And we're trying to keep this under, for the algorithm, which is magical and mystical and made up, and I therefore don't know how it works.
The magical mystical algorithm. The magical mystical formula.
Oh yes, honestly. Well, and thank you very much for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, please feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi and our Patreon. We've got some links in the description down below. And other than that, I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies.
And it was great playing with you.
Bye!